What's going on?
Hey, what's up? What's up?
I'm good. Thank you very much, Adonis. So,
Yeah,
well,
man. I just
uh,
left the party. I wanted to chop it up with you real quick. Go over those topics we were talking about,
yeah.
previously.
So let's get into it. Let's get into it.
All right. The first one was bullying, and
Yeah.
I want to say, me personally, I've been on both sides of bullying. I've been a bully, and I've been bullied.
Okay.
And I want to say, me personally, I don't know about anyone else. Uh, how we grew up. It's either kind of like eat or be eaten. So if you're not fighting, or if you're not defending yourself, it'll be easy. It's easier to get picked on. Where I'm from. And where I'm from is very bad, because when you do get picked on, it don't stop. It carries on to almost every aspect of your life.
Yeah.
Until we see you, defend yourself. Typically more than once. Um, that's when people tend to stop, bothering people. Um, how do you feel about that? Do you feel like your upbringing, was it like eat or be eaten, or did you have to be the baddest one, or you'll get picked on or stuff like that?
Well, I think it's like bullying subject that people don't really talk about, but it's like basically we have bully everywhere in the world. Like the big
Yeah.
one of the bully is honestly on the internet. People they love to bully because like you can create a fake profile and bully people and with the words. You know what I mean? Like everybody has an account, and once you're bullying people with the words, like sometimes like people who don't understand that like every single negative reflection what people project in you is about them. You know what I mean?
Right.
Just basically it's like their business card. You get what I'm saying? So you say something ugly, oh, it's under your name though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's far, that's not who. So that's really important to understand for everybody who experiencing kind of bully, to understand that whatever energy comes from that bullier is about themselves, and it doesn't
Right.
mean that people are bad. It's just they're just giving something that they experience and they can't cope with that shit. It's a
Huh.
cycle. So basically my experiencing with bullying is like this, right? So I have a big experience. When I was a child, I was bullied in school heavily because I was different, but I made my power out of that shit. You know what I mean? It's up to you.
Yeah.
If like, a lot of people they can't cope with that, so they come across their entire life like the victim of bullies, in their jobs, in the society, because they feel like that from the school. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But for some reason, I'm not gonna lie, it's like a daily battle that you have to every single day. It's like I believe that when you bullied, you're different, and it's like the society feels that you're different. They're scared, you know what I mean? Because most of people they react with a fear of what they do. They have fear. So when they
Yeah.
fear you, with your intelligence, and with you having different perspective, or even you being physically different than them, they fear it because that's something that they don't know. They cannot relate
Yeah.
to. So kids, the only reaction they have is to pick up on you and make fun of you because it's just say some. It's just a reaction of being not aware of what it is. You know what I mean? So that's what it is. But when I feel the issue is when you carry that energy and that mindset that people want to pick on you, people they hate you, or you're different for the like from the school and take it with you. That's where the problem is. If you don't heal yourself, if you don't find your healing, because if you don't heal yourself, it's a very traumatizing thing to go through because you basically every single day go through I don't know, 7 hours a day under negative affirmations about you coming from,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? You're
Some
being like,
people kill themselves.
huh?
Some people kill themselves.
Yeah, of course. It's not like something new. Like people, it's societal. You know, people they get into they start to do like me personally. I started to drink and I started to smoke weed when I was younger, just to be part of, like the school and the society. And I I see it right now. Like what was actually like, why the hell did I do that? Because I wanted to feel like I'm part of something, but then I
Yeah.
realized, oh hell fucking no. Like right now, do I want to be part of something? Hell fucking no. I want to be the one that actually is different. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? The difference makes you beautiful and unique, but when you're a kid, the school programs you in a fucked up way that, oh, like even the way, like you're getting your, how do you call it, like how you get your test results. Oh,
Report cards and stuff like
that
that.
report cards, like, you know what I mean? It builds your fucked up self-esteem since you're a child. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They fuck up your self-esteem since you're a kid.
Yeah.
But they judge you based on like, all right, so you're not good in math. So that means you're useless. And they let you lose in the grade. And, like, I think
Yeah.
that really, really can fuck with your self-esteem. And on the top, when you're being bullied on the top, that's a tough one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, what my message for people who ever been through any bully, thank God for that, because that means that you're fucking special and you need to learn how to use your power. That's what you need to learn, because that, like being, you don't want to be average. You don't want to be fucking mediocre. You don't want to be that person, because that means a lot of people are average and they're trying to be, you know, copycat of somebody else trying to make that, but that model doesn't work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you want to be
And
somebody.
sometimes it works, but it only lasts for too long. You know.
Yeah,
Once people is like, you know what, it's not original. You know,
yeah.
it can get played out faster.
I agree with you. I personally think I read this article in Forbes. I was a child. I think I was like 12 years old. I don't even know, but maybe it was Forbes, maybe it was a different magazine, but it was something about a Russian billionaire, and he said you can never go farther in somebody's tracks.
Facts. That
That
sounds.
that's like a physical proof. If somebody use like the ski and they ride a track, if you use the same track,
It's gonna
you
wherever
go
they stop,
far
that's where you stop.
track. There's always gonna be somebody ahead. So to use your uniqueness is powerful.
For sure. For sure. But
So,
you was talking. I'm not saying you were defending bullies, because usually like most bullies they come from a hurt place.
mm,
But I want to say that I'm one of the bullies that I really didn't come from a hurt place.
hmm
I just knew I had to hurt before I got hurt, if that makes sense.
that makes a
So
lot of.
it was like a defense mechanism, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, I just remember just doing like weird shit. Like someone would do something to me very small and I'll punch him. You know, I had one kid push me and I punched him and he had blood all over the P court.
That's
And
deep.
yeah, and I was like I didn't know that was gonna happen because I like punched him right in his nose with my good hand, and blood was everywhere. And I was like, once the blood came, I'm like, oh fuck, I went a little too far, you know. And then I wasn't thinking like an asshole no more. I was thinking, I guess rationally at this point. And I'm like, me being an asshole, who knows? Like now that I'm an adult, like who knows what that situation probably did for him, growing up. Because from my understanding, he didn't go to the school anymore. He went to another school. So I think the how he felt about it, he wasn't even comfortable enough to coming back to the school.
Mm.
So thinking about it, in retrospect, like years after, I'm like, damn, I probably really like, fucked him over. And I got like two more stories like that of kids that we bullied like in middle school, that they switched schools. Yeah, in retrospect, now that I'm thinking about it, and like I said, and other individuals understood as well that you had to eat or be eaten at this point, if you wanted to survive in our types of environments and shit like that. But it growing up, it really helped mold me, because like at this point in my life, and like been maybe like even in my college time and shit, like high school, yeah, I like transformed from being a bully, and then I started like helping kids being bullied. And
Mm,
like and that felt amazing, like kid would be guy like 7 foot finna whoop this guy that's fat and 5 foot's ass, and then I'm able to break it up, before it goes down. 'Cause we all know who's gonna win, god damn it. But I've been in a situation like that where I'm able to come in between a lot of unnecessary violence. And I'm not saying I pay my dues for bullying in the past, but I'm definitely trying to make up for the things I have done in the past, in different ways, of
yeah.
course. And
Well,
that's what I think it's about. And it just helps me understand that much more of that duality, you were talking about. And like bad things happen in this world, for us to, sometimes it's a wake up call, sometimes it's, whatever you want to call it, but nonetheless a learning experience, you know.
yeah, it
And
is.
if you don't learn from these lessons, that's when it becomes detrimental to you, I
Mm.
believe, and I've seen, you know, for
I,
sure.
basically, a lot of people they react on that with addictions. That was
Yeah,
my escapism, because when the reality gets too painful and too messed up, you don't want to be in the reality.
yeah,
I'm not saying addictions are bad. Like what is good, what is bad? Is it good to be a person who's completely normal and lives by the system? That's bullshit too. You know what I mean? It's
yeah.
all wrong programming. I
I
don't.
feel like different people are, different sizes and come from different places, and what may be a lot to someone may not be a lot to someone else. But I feel
Exactly.
like once your quote unquote addiction is taking over your lifestyle, when you're with the substance that you're abusing becomes priority over your responsibility, I think that's when, you know, the cutoff. I think that's the cutoff point.
Yeah.
You really need to assess your lifestyle. You really need to, reprogram for sure, because like you said, that could lead into your relationship. Ultimately, you're not taking your and you're taking your substance, and you and taking that substance more important than your spouse's need. That's that's detrimental in itself. I could see something, you know, maybe it be verbal, maybe be physical, but definitely some type of abusive relationship, spawning from people using substance abuse, and then not being responsible and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Um,
I think there's two types of people, like if you go for something like this, then you are the chosen one to help other people. You know what I mean? That's why you did it. Because there's nothing different than that, you know what I mean? Like you have to go through something to understand how the other person feels so you can be better.
yes,
And you should become some form of healer or service to society for the people that are on the path, that are going through something,
yeah,
because there's nothing worse than feeling alone with your problems, with your kind of like when you don't know really what to do and when you feel like everything that you're doing you feel alone. That's why people seek the substance as well, because of the loneliness.
wow, yes,
And it really is true. You know what I mean? Like, because I have been there, so I can understand what is the core problem. It's not alcohol, it's not drugs. There's no problems like this. Alcohol is alcohol. Alcohol can disinfect your infection and your wound and save your life.
Facts.
Right?
Yes.
Exactly. So at the same time, if you misuse it, it can kill you and you can become addicted to it. So I don't believe something is the duality. You know what I mean? Like there's
Yeah.
alcohol did not serve me drinking it, but it serves me in the sanitizers when I need to use it. You know what I mean?
Yes. Reality.
It's true. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's all about like how you use that thing. You know what I mean? And how
Yeah.
much you think, how much your body, and all it's about. I really recommend somebody highly to get completely sober though, because that's the most natural form of a human body.
Yeah.
That complete sobriety, it's going to make you understand yourself. And
Yes.
I'm saying, oh, booze is like something that you can never touch. It's up to everybody. You know what I mean? Everybody has a
Yeah.
different things they enjoy. But
For
the
sure.
thing, you need to know yourself first though, and that's a long process. A lot of people don't know themselves, and this is
Facts.
why it's here to grab a drink or smoke a joint or take a fucking Xanax pill, or do what the system tells you to do to feel safe, which is the fucking bullshit, because that what kills you. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Don't say anything, but that's what kills you.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's what really kills you.
Very true.
So you need to know your soul and yourself, and that's like the number one thing to
And you
discover,
saying, and you said being sober is the best way to really know yourself.
because you
Yeah.
feel without anything else. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
then you can add things that can take you to a deeper levels. That breaks your ego. I'm not gonna
Wow.
say anything, but we can talk about it in a different topic. But there is things that breaks your ego. There are substances that breaks your ego, and it really makes you understand your soul, your purpose. But that's like advanced. That's
Yeah.
not beginners. Like if you really want to go to a spiritual journey, don't start with ayahuasca. Start with complete sobriety.
Huh.
Because people, they think they take ayahuasca is gonna change their life. That shit can, even like if you're not ready for it, it can drive you crazy.
Huh.
You get what I'm saying? I think natural medicine is amazing, but you should get ready for it by yourself first, because that's what breaks the laziness. Because the main issue with spiritual journey is as well laziness. People, they want skips.
Yeah.
They want skips. They want to get high because it's fast. They want to get drunk because
Yes.
it's fast to connect. To achieve all these things, you can do that sober, but it takes dedication. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Dedication. It's not easy, man.
Yeah.
I'm sober for almost 2 years, and it's not like everyday fight at all. It's everyday self growth and being focused on how to be better every day, how to organize my life better, to be better every day, how to be more structured, how to control my emotions, how to do all these shit. Because like I was a case where I was really drinking every day, so I never had the really chance to really meet myself truly. You get what I'm saying? Like alcohol is a mask. It gives you identity that can be phenomenal. Like, look at the bar. Do you think people would act like this when they're sober? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It creates amazing person out of you in that moment. But you have
Yeah.
to access.
Yeah. It gives a
So,
lot of people a hell of a boost of confidence, you know?
yeah. And the issue is, it can come again from the low self-esteem that comes like if somebody bullies you, your confidence is one of the main things you have to work on. Your self-esteem, the value, self-love, self-esteem. Because when somebody try to make you feel like shit 6, 7, 8 hours a day every day, that's really heavy on your mind. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like who experienced that they know that. You're always last pickup in the game. You know what I mean? You're always like last pickup at the game. You're
Yeah.
always the one who is like, I remember the fucking ball games, you know, people like, oh, so, and I was always the last one pick up, you know, I was like, damn, like the last one.
Yes.
But I laugh at it now. It was not funny to me back then, you know what I mean? So it's always some shit that
It
makes,
hurt your feelings back then getting picked last, huh?
yeah, it's just like the feeling, oh damn, like I'm the outsider and shit like this, you know, and then like, and as I'm saying, is a kind of heavy program for so many hours a day, and it really helps people. The strong ones, they just get mad, they get angry, and they make it fucking big. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Make it big in their life.
Yeah.
They know how it feels like, and that extreme pressure pushes you to be better, you know? It
Yeah.
pushes you better because you don't have any choice. You can, like, some people, it's so heavy on mind that some people, they really, unfortunately, suicide because it's really heavy and they can't cope with it because the stress, anxiety, fear, panic attacks,
Social
trauma,
pressures, all that shit.
all that shit together is like a one black cloud. And if you don't,
Substance
the
abuse and everything.
cloud. Hmm?
Yeah. Adding substances into that formula as well. That
Yeah,
also creates
like,
imbalance.
yeah,
It's just one mess.
you can't exist, man. Like, it's really, it's like, it's really a big challenge, but it's doable. You know what I mean? It's doable. Like we overcame that, right? We're here right now. You know what I
For
mean? We're
sure.
here, and we're
For sure.
here. You know what? Like we're in a good stage of our lives, so
Yeah.
it's doable. It just takes a lot of self-love affirmations, and then the way you're treated in school, it also reflects as well on your choices of your partner, for example.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
I want
Yes.
to abusive partner. You know what I mean? Because that's what people do when they feel like they need to be bullied because that's what they know. You know what I mean?
They
You know,
need to be bullied.
yeah, they need to be bullied.
Wow.
That's the only shit that they know. You know what I mean?
That's the
So
only that they know. Yes.
yeah, it's like a rule. It's like a psychological rule. So it's hard to get out of that. It's really hard because I know that I am like my strength is on another level. My willpower is on another level. But that took me like a big things to get over that. To
Yeah.
get over that, you know what I mean? You have to get over that, and you really need to kind of reborn yourself into a version that you forgive that people because they didn't know any better. It's
Yeah.
past. You need to forgive. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
I agree.
like based on love.
Yeah. I want to
Because
say huh?
yeah.
I want to say I've actually been a part of like a domestic violence relationship, I
Hmm.
want to say. Um and me personally, I never experienced it. I never saw it, in my home or even on TV until one day I I was I in middle school or high school? I think I was in high school. I think. So I was walking. We were walking. We got into a dispute, and I decided I didn't want to go with her anymore. That I wanted to go our separate ways. And she kept talking. She kept saying things that I guess at that time she thought would hurt me. And I wasn't budging. I didn't care. I was just waiting for the bus to come. And she walks up to me and punches me in the face. And
Mm.
I was like, because like I said, she practically, yeah, because we went to middle school. So we practically come from the same shit, like eat or be eaten. So once she did that, I'm walking up to her like I'm finna fuck her up. And then she didn't budge. I'm like, oh, she ain't budging. She ain't scared of shit. So yeah, I get in her face like, I'll fuck you up right now. I didn't say this, but I had it on my face. Like, I'll fuck you up right now. And I didn't do shit. And when I walked away from the shit and went back to the bus stop, she came over and started like apologizing and shit. And but like now in retrospect, going back, I never even asked her, what did you see growing up, that made you do some shit like that? You know what I'm saying? Like that it's something it's something like we went on a relationship for a little while and then we never spoke about it again.
Yeah.
But I really wish I could have got like backstory, on that and really like use communication and just, hey man, about that shit that happened the other day, you know, who do you know that do that shit? But that's something I learned now. So like now when I peep shit, I'm very verbal. I say shit like immediately almost. Like, hey, what's up with that? Everything okay? Oh, I thought it was me. All right, cool. Shit like that. Communication is very, very big. Very, very big in, relationships and not just like with your spouse, but like even with your friendships. Some things could be left unsaid, and then someone has a whole another paradigm of, what's going on or understanding of the relationship, than the other person does. And communication is so big. And I feel like it sucks even more because we're dependent on social media to communicate. You know, we're not having, we FaceTime, you know, but the phone calls, the texting, the social media, DM, you're not able to get the tone of somebody. You're not able to get someone's facial expression when they're saying certain things, So sometimes you're able to take some things, any type of way. And emojis help like a motherfucker, I just want to say. But that face to face, even FaceTime isn't the same. Nothing is more pure than being in front of somebody and actually talking to them and having and actually wanting understanding from them. And with the metaverse coming and all this shit, it's gonna be so much harder for individuals, I think, to date one, especially all this pandemic shit. The metaverse is gonna take over like a motherfucker because everyone's gonna be dependent on these social apparatuses, to be in contact.